Ka kynhun menteri hene ke sengi kalai kren halor ka phang ka baya dei bat ka reservation policy bat ru ka roster system bat la rai ru baya ka tei ka benta onra ru ha ka kynhun MDA la shai ke sengi hashwa banra pat ha ka jingalang jong baro ke party la chisngi habakren chekilat pathai khubor umentri rangba jong ka jilla ukanrat ke sangma ulong ba hadin jong kane kinsai kren ru bat ki kynhun bafer la ka long nadu ki seng bahlang ki kynhun niam bat kiwe umentri rangba ulai tu ru ba baro ke menteri ka sarkar ki lahun halor ka jingpynshai ka baidei bat ka reservation policy bat kumju ru halor ka roster system.
A topic which was discussed informally was the presentation on the reservation and the roster system, and a detailed presentation was given to the cabinet today, and after seeing the presentation the cabinet was satisfied with the presentation and the details, and a few clarifications that were made, and unanimously now we have agreed on moving forward, and tomorrow the detailed same presentation will be made to the MDA components, and thereafter the same presentation will be made to the all parties, and in about a week or 10 days later, once we are able to communicate to all different stakeholders from throughout the state, we will be having a meeting with the stakeholders also, which includes NGOs, religious organizations, different social groups, and other stakeholders. So that is a fourth meeting which will take place after about a week or about 10 days later. So these were the few discussions and decisions that were made in the cabinet and presentations. I cannot give you details of that because we have to give the presentation to everybody. But as I said, I have mentioned it earlier also, that roster and recruitment is a continuous process, and after seeing the details of how a roster works and how the system will follow in the future and how the system has been in the past, as I said, detailed presentation was given, and all the cabinet colleagues were very satisfied after seeing the presentation. And the presentation was based on all facts and figures, looking at the reservation policy and looking at the complexities of roster system, and accordingly, as I said, a presentation was made. As we go along in the next day or 2 days, I think the press also will be briefing them most probably day after tomorrow, after the all-party meeting takes place, and I think you'll be getting a clear picture by then.
So the voice of the people.
The discussion that we have called for is regarding the roster system. So we are sticking to the roster system as of now. So we want to clarify on that and decide on how we should move forward first. It's a continuous process, and hence it goes on. Recruitment is a process that goes on. Everything that happens, is a continuous process, and hence once we give the presentation and once you see the details and once you see how things are, I'm sure that you also will understand. And based on that, we'll move forward. So what has happened in the past obviously adds up to how things are now. But as I said, the way the system is, it's continuous, and therefore there's no question of, I've mentioned it in the past also, there's no question of retrospect or prospect. It's a continuous process. Discussed on the reservation policy, and this is something that has been not in the agenda that is coming up in the next few days. Right now we are talking about the roster system, and we're sticking to that as of now. However, the roster systems are ready. The recruitment is going ahead. There's no problem with that. And as I said, wherever, and I said, at the same time we're discussing with everybody. Once the presentation is given, I'm sure that all of you will also, once you see the presentation, you will understand what it is, and I'm sure that you will also appreciate how we're going to move forward. No, as I said, we are working on the roster, and the roster system, as per the court order, as soon as it is out for certain whichever departments and whichever post, the recruitment is continuing. Called retrospect or prospect. A roster is a continuous process, and the posts keep filling up. When we show the presentation to you, as I said, you will understand that. So if we have already waited for some time, so allow us to complete the process in a proper manner. It's not a one-time thing. So we have made a relaxation for teachers as a rule, saying that from now on it's going to be relaxed from this age to this age. For police, not for police, but for other also government servants, government posts also, we have again done the same thing. So therefore, those are done from a policy point of view for as a permanent measure. What you're mentioning is a situation that was there, and in those situations things happened, like for example in COVID also some things were there, we could not do the process. So we cannot, simply, based on situations like this, we cannot simply come out with a policy that is going to be there.
But
These
the
are,
government-
I think if government starts bending the rules for everything, I think there will not be any policy. So there are certain areas where we have to draw the line. We have to go by the system. If we start doing this, then tomorrow, what is there to stop somebody from saying that, well, there was too much of rain, so that we could not come in and we lost 2 months, so can you extend it for 2 months again? Government has to follow certain systems, certain rules. We understand the inconvenience that was caused. It is nothing that was not within our reach and not within our control, and we had to follow the court orders.